Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday, so I want to bring to you Wantrepreneur Wednesday. And I've had some people reach out to me and say, like, what does wantrepreneur mean? And it's a word that I kind of like gravitated to. Maybe I created it. I don't remember if I saw it somewhere, but I just was thinking about it. It's like a woman who wants to become an entrepreneur. Wantrepreneur. So for the last 4 months, I have been coming weekly to share with you different entrepreneurs, to share with you their stories of how they got to where they are. And it's all with the intention to spark that something in you. There might be something that one of them says that you're like, I've felt that way before. There's something here. Maybe I should look into this. So this has been a really fun journey to share with you all these different guests because they're coming from all different types of businesses. So it's not just one way to do business anymore with a bricks and mortars place, right? There's service providers. There's so many different avenues that you can take. And if you're in a fog about this, that is what I do. I help women discover the next chapter of themselves. I help them discover the entrepreneur within. Right? So today I am bringing to you a very special guest of mine, and I'm sporting my life coach t-shirt because it's from my school, and I'm proud of what I do. Hey, let me just say it. But I want to share with you Tami Daker. Now, Tami and I met each other about 4 years ago at the yoga studio. She was in my classes, and she was religious. She would come to those classes. Yes, you were. And last year, she started to come to some of my workshops that I was holding. And those workshops then led into wanting to discover the next chapter of herself. And we engaged in one-on-one coaching, which we are still doing today. Yeah. And it has been amazing to watch her entrepreneurial journey start and flourish. And now I'm going to introduce Tami Daker, who is a certified health and life coach. Tami, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you for having me.
I want you to share with everyone what it is that you do, what your mission is, and your message, and a little bit, a lot of it, of how you ended up where you're at today.
Okay. So my journey began probably, like Patty said, maybe fall of last year. My children have been growing up, obviously, and I was starting to feel lost. What was I going to do with the next chapter of my life now that my children were, one of them off to college, 2 in high school, and this was my time, but what was I going to focus on in this? So in doing Patty's workshops, I did a lot of learning about myself. What were the important values that I held close to me? What attracted me to other people? And what was my true passion? Well, my true passion has always been fitness. I've been a personal trainer for the last 6 years. I'm kettlebell certified. I'm also a yoga teacher. I did that 3 years ago. So I taught at Core Power, recently stopped teaching there, and TRX certified. So I've explored all of the avenues of fitness and love them all. I love sharing with everyone what works best. Maybe what works for some body types don't always work for other body types. Sometimes as we age as women, we need to gain more strength in order to keep our bones strong and all kinds of other facets when it comes to your health. So in exploring that, I decided that I really had wanted to help women focus on changing their habits to empower their mind, to empower their body. And a lot of times we get in a rut and we're like, I'm not going to go to the gym. I don't feel like it. But when have you ever said after you've worked out, oh, I'm so mad I did that?
Oh, it's a terrible idea.
Exactly. We never say that. After it's over, we're like, yes, it's over. I feel great. You have the endorphins and you feel like you accomplished something. So a lot of times again, you've empowered your mind because you made that decision to get yourself to the gym. And when you empower your mind, your body follows along. I mean, a lot of times we have aches and pains, and it's really stemming from something that's going on inside that we're maybe unaware that we're feeling. Your shoulder, my neck, whatever it is, sometimes we just forget that sometimes it's not really an injury. It's really what's going on inside and how we're feeling about what's going on inside. So I decided to take this journey. And another reason why I did was about 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune thyroid disease called Hashimoto's, which created a huge brain fog, which created a gain of 15 pounds. And on a person who's only 5'3", that shows very quickly. I don't really have the length to pull it off. So, and I was just really feeling bad about myself. My anxiety was extremely high, and I decided to take matters into my own hands instead of just your regular practice medicine. I went to a functional medicine doctor to get some information and to be able to change what was going on in my body without adding any more drugs. So in doing so, all of this kind of snowballed. And as I was going through Patty's workshops, I started to recognize where my strengths were. My strengths were helping people get back on their feet with a health issue. I'm not a doctor, but I can help you with those little habits to change your bad habits into good habits and
Love that.
create.
Love that.
Yeah. And this helps you little by little, because we all know that immediately if you go and try and change 15 things about your struggles, it's too overwhelming. And your critter brain takes over, and before you know it, you've completely shut down and you're not going to go any further than this. So my goal is to help everyone take little baby steps towards their goal, and we figure out what avenue is the best for that individual. So that is what I've been working on for the last 9 months in getting certified 2 months ago. And I love helping my clients gain their strength physically and emotionally. I love being able to empower them, to empower their mind, to empower their body. It's amazing what happens.
Yeah. So Claire, thanks for chiming in.
Oh, hi, Lauren.
Claire and I are in a coaching group together, and yes, she writes the hardest part of yoga is getting your mat. And once you're there, you feel euphoric. Okay, so why is their screen frozen? Okay, there we are. So if you had to say you had a big why, I know it stems from your own, but you tell the audience, what would be your big why for wanting to really seek out coaching, one-on-one coaching, have that support, do this program of health and life coaching certificate? What drove you to actually take the actions to do it? Because a lot of people say they want to do something,
right,
and then it's talk is cheap. They don't do anything.
Well,
you did.
Your why has to be in order for you to feel really something you want to do and really accomplish. And for me, my why was very easy. My why was all about my children. It was all about setting a good example to them when they saw that I wasn't in a brain fog. They saw that I was not being the best version of me. And I knew that it was my responsibility as I was on this journey, so they could see this unfold. They could see that as a human being, there's a way out and there is a direction that you can follow, especially if this is something you believe in. And I believed in me so much that I continued on this journey.
Oh my God, she just said the magic words. I believed in me to keep going on this journey. Because let me tell you something, entrepreneurship is the greatest course in personal development ever. You're gonna be up one day, you're gonna be down the next. And if you can control you and manage that critter brain that she just mentioned, it's everything, it's huge. Okay, so tell me, what has been your biggest challenge as you shift into becoming an entrepreneur from versus working for somebody else?
I think my biggest challenge is thinking too far in advance, like thinking about the big picture sometimes, which can create an overwhelming feeling. So I stopped doing that and I started doing little steps like, okay, what am I going to do today to further my business? What am I going to do today to help these clients that I have? And focus on those little moments instead of focusing on so many overwhelming aspects of a business, and which again creates that critter brain, and then all of a sudden you're retreating, you're like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, and you go to that negative self-talk. And this way I have definitely, of course, I'm normal, I'm human, I have those moments, but then I take a step back and I say, wait a minute, why am I feeling like this? Well, I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. Why? Because I put too many things on my plate. So I take some of those off and I start looking at little chunks of it instead of so much of it that it overwhelms me.
Oh my God, that is so key. That is key. I've
Yeah.
done that. I've gotten stuck in that. And then guess what? I throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? How many of you have done that?
Yes, you totally
Right?
do.
Claire and
Exactly.
Lauren. Hi, Lauren. Thanks for
Yes.
coming.
Yeah.
I mean, how many, right? So, okay.
Yeah.
So when your life gets hairy, because you are a mom of 3
Yes.
teenagers,
Yeah.
and you work at this gym, Xperity Gym in Burridge, and you just finished your schooling. Like, okay, when you have all this stuff going on and life gets hairy, how do you manage your critter brain?
Well, it goes back to what I was saying. Like, I try not to look at so many facets of the business, of my life. I try to take everything day by day. I am a scheduled person. I prefer to be a scheduled person. So what I started doing was blocking out time. So
Great idea.
I have block time. Certain days I do my appointments, whether they're doctor's appointments, hair appointments, nail appointments, whatever it may be. Those are on a certain day and from a block of time. Then my other days, I have time where I've booked in with clients. I have booked in my marketing, what I'm working on, my website, things that I'm working on to grow my business. So that way I look at what's going on for the day. And yes, I look at the whole week in a preview, but then I still am able to block time with my children, take them to where they need to be, or go to lunch with them to have those, catch up moments. So I think keeping a blocked schedule for me Monday through Friday is very helpful.
Yeah, and then don't you feel like you're 100% present
Yes.
for each category, like 100% present for your kids and 100% present for
Right.
your business and 100% present for all these other areas of your life when you're not multitasking, when
Right.
you're just monotasking.
Exactly.
Right? We just talked about that in our mastermind this morning. Okay, so what advice would you give a woman who's kind of like got a little idea back here? She's thinking, maybe I do want to go start something on my own, like on my terms. What would you say to her?
I would say surround yourself with people, like-minded people. Number one, people that inspire you, create this little spark. So the more time I spent in the workshops and with people that were more like-minded as I am, reading constant personal growth books, things like that, I started to see where I wanted to go. And it just the journey kind of unfolds. I really believe that for me, the power of prayer, I kept praying, I know that there's something for me to be doing for the rest of my life. I know that there's something that I am meant to be doing. There's a purpose I have. I didn't know what it was, but I could feel it. I could feel this pull of something that was important to me, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. And then in the last, year, everything started to unfold. The right people came into my life at the right times. And I'm very blessed. I feel like for once in my life, I can do anything. Like, I've totally empowered myself. And I love it. I love that I get to help people from now on gain their strength back in who they are as a person, and they get to change their bodies along the way. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and you just said something really good. Okay, so here's the deal, guys, for you ladies out there who have an inkling of an idea, and then you start to get fearful, like, oh, who am I to go out and do this? be able to impact the people's lives that she's impacting. Do you see that? So you, by keeping your talents and your desires like to yourself and not sharing what you have to offer, it's kind of like you're doing a disservice. You're doing a disservice to you and to the universe.
You're supposed to share your gifts.
Share your gifts.
Yeah.
Okay, so best mistake you've ever made. It's a question I ask every entrepreneur that comes on the interview.
So the best mistake I ever made, I would say, was actually believing in myself. Because for a really long time as a woman, someone who stayed home for years and years, I just always felt like I wasn't good enough. I didn't have this career. I didn't have what so many women I thought at the time had it all. And I felt like I didn't have that. And all of a sudden, I thought to myself, who am I to say that about myself? Why am I stopping myself? And I just took a leap of faith and said, you know what? For once, instead of someone else believing in me, I have to believe in me more than anything. And that's what I did. And the more I did it, the more other people saw it in me and would make comments and say, oh my God, thank you so much for telling me that. That was a great tip. Who would have thought? And it was almost like it was meant to be. It just kept fueling how I was feeling. And the more and more it transpired, the more I believed in me. And I was like, see, this wasn't really a mistake after all.
Yeah, exactly. And you kept yourself in support and accountability.
Yes.
Like by having, whether it was, it was me that was your coach,
right,
but it could have been somebody else, right? You kept investing in yourself and you accelerated the process. I actually wrote a blog post on it last night. You can go to my site. Yes. And the thing is, I did not accelerate my business until I really continuously just kept investing in myself for that support and accountability.
Right.
I could have been reading, you could have been reading the DIY books, the personal development books, which we all love. I love them. She loves them.
Yes.
Till we're like, till the cows come home. But it's like actually getting support around it so it holds you accountable. A book's not going to hold you accountable. Right?
No.
So,
but a person is.
That's right.
And someone who loves you and believes in you definitely holds you accountable.
So find the right person.
Yeah,
okay. So last question is, where can people find out more about you? Online, offline, all of it.
Well, online, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. You can follow me. My Facebook is Tami Winters Daker, my maiden name, and my Instagram is Tami Daker 73. So you can look for me there. We are looking to do a Back to Wellness event September 19th.
For local people, if you're in this area.
It will be myself. We're looking to have someone who talks about meditation or possibly Reiki. Another person is actually a primary health care physician. So that is a very interesting facet. So she is darling and is right here locally in Hinsdale as well. And then a clean makeup line. So, and possibly something else. We're not quite sure, but we're looking in the next week and a half to solidify exactly who will be there. But it'll be September 19th from 9:30 to 11:30. And I think we're actually going to do it at my house. So look for that information. Friend me on Facebook and I will keep you guys posted.
Awesome.
Okay,
that is a wrap for this week's Wantrepreneur Wednesday. If you like this, if you found value, share the love, share it out. You never know. This might inspire someone that you know. Maybe you don't want to become an entrepreneur, but maybe there's someone in your life that you know that does. And just, there might be something that was said here today that might turn the light bulb on for that person.
Right.
So shoot us some loves, hearts if you want. If you're watching it in replay, just put replay under here so I can see who's partaking. And thank you. I always love the engagement. Hi, Bobby. Thanks for joining us. Okay, have an amazing day, everyone. See you next week. Same time, same place. And thank you.
Thank you.